One of the toughest things I've had to struggle with in my life is depression. How about you? You know, depression just really is persistent, isn't it? And can seem so strong and so overwhelming, can make you feel like you will never get over it and that you just can't break free from it. But that really isn't the truth. You can overcome the power of depression. You can break free from it. You can change how it affects you. Today, I want to help you to understand the number one thing that the myth that is keeping you stuck in depression. So in other words, I want to give you some hope today that you can overcome depression and the hold that it has on your life. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Tawnya Kordenbrock, and I'm a licensed professional clinical counselor. And what I do is help women online to be able to rewire their brains so they can break free from fear, anger, and low self-image, to be able to love themselves, to feel loved by others, and to have a deeper relationship with God. And today, I hope you will stay tuned till the end because I do have a free resource for you. And if you would, please go ahead and subscribe. And that way you can get notifications of updates when I have new teaching material for you. As we get started today, I want to point out to you what a bully depression is. Have you ever noticed that? It really hijacks your way of thinking, your way of viewing the world. It puts blinders on you so that all you can see is negative. Everything is negative. And it keeps you from seeing any kind of solutions on how to improve your current situation. It also keeps you from viewing anything positive about your past, that, keeps you from seeing that good things have happened to you in the past. And instead, it forces you to believe that nothing good has ever happened to you. And what's really sad about this is how depression squelches any hope that you could have for your future of being able to live a life that is free from this crushing weight. And then it also it refuses to let go of you, doesn't it? Like no matter how hard you push against it and try to tell yourself that you need to get up, that you need to do something, that you need to not be so negative, that you should just think happy thoughts or whatever, it still keeps its hold on you. It still bullies you into believing that you're never going to get anywhere, that you're never going to get rid of it. Amidst all of this bullying, another thing that depression does is it lies to you. And it tells you an incredible myth that keeps you stuck in depression. And what is this myth? This myth is about depression and who it is and who you are. What it tells you is that the depression is you, that you are a depressed person. It's the whole of who you are. And when you believe this, when you consider that you are a depressed person, then it just squelches any attempts to really believe that you can overcome it and any attempts to overcome it. Now, it's no wonder that you believe this, Because if you can look back on your life and see how many times it is that you've been depressed, then it can cause you to believe that you are this depressed person. And then you can look at, well, no matter how hard I try, it still comes back. So that makes you believe that it's going to continue to come back forever and ever and ever with the same force that it always has done. And it's going to hold on to you as tightly as it always has. Now, the real truth is that depression is only a part of you, because there are parts of you that have been able to succeed. There are parts of you that has been quite happy and satisfied at times. You've been able to do the things in life that you've wanted to do. You've been able to attain some of the things in life that you have been able to attain. But depression keeps you from seeing that. Depression convinces you that none of that is true, but instead you are just this hopeless, depressed person. However, depression actually is a response. It's a response to something that has happened to you, and it triggers then these automatic thoughts that come along with it, the emotions that come along with it, and then that leads to what you do, your bodily response to these emotions and to these thoughts. This pattern then becomes ingrained in you, so that when it is triggered the next time, you much more easily will go down that same pathway of feeling and thinking and behaving that you have done in the past. And the more frequently this happens, the more often it happens over the years, then the more ingrained this pattern becomes. And so in order to bring lasting change, you have to work on that pattern, breaking that down, changing it. And actually what that does is it changes your brain. It changes the actual neurons in your brain, so that your brain responds differently and goes down the new pathway that you have created. So what does this mean for you? Well, now that you know this, now that you know that this is a myth, that you are a depressed person, that the depression is you, but it's only a part of you. Well, now you can recognize, you can be aware of how depression as a part of you is bullying you. You can recognize when it comes and say, oh, looky there. Yes, I see depression, how you are trying to block what I am allowed to see. You keep me from seeing all of the positives in my life. You keep me from seeing any kind of hope for my future, any solutions for today, and any good things that have happened in my past, and how I've been able to solve problems in the past, and how people have cared for me in my past. Depression, I see that you are doing that to me. I see how you are creating these feelings of hopelessness within me, the sadness and the anger, how you're producing all of these thoughts that I will never be able to succeed, that no one will ever love me, that no one cares about me, that people think all these negative things about me. I see also how depression, you are causing me just to shut down, to not talk to anyone, causing me to not have energy, causing me to withdraw from the world. And as you do that, you can begin to actually break free from depression. Because as long as you believe it is who you are, then you will not get rid of it. I've seen this happen in my own life where I don't get depressed as frequently as I used to. I don't get triggered as easily as I used to, and I don't stay in it as long as I used to. I've seen this happen in my online members. One member in particular just notified me just recently of how she had something happened where a family member contacted her and was just totally overwhelmed her with the family member's expectations. And now in the past, she would have just totally broken down from the weight of this overwhelm and would have been so depressed, would have been angry at herself, would have been angry at her family member, would have lashed out at her husband, and would have just been in a puddle of tears for like 2 weeks and not able to function with this depression. But now, what she told me, what she was able to do after doing the work in my program and realizing, because I mean, when she first came into the program, she didn't realize that depression wasn't her. She didn't realize that she could change the response pattern that her brain followed. So now what she did with receiving this phone call, she got upset. She was overwhelmed. She started crying. She got depressed. She's a human being, okay? But then what she did was she thought, all right, I know what to do with this. And she began recognizing depression. I see what you're doing to me. I see what you're causing me to think. I see what you're causing me to do. She took some deep breaths and she was able to come out of that deep, dark place that she was headed toward. And then she moved on with her day, contacted another family member that she enjoys, and had a great day after that. That is my hope for you also. This is why I wanted you to be able to understand this myth, to not believe that depression is who you are. And before I go, let me tell you that I do have a free resource for you that has to do with your thinking and being able to notice what it is that depression is telling you. So I will put a link for that below in the comments or in the description for this video, and I hope you will check that out. Have a great day.